Welcome back to the LCS studio here in Los Angeles, where we're gearing up for our final game of week number 5. It's Dignitas versus Team Impulse. The last time these teams faced off, Team Impulse were the winners. So another win here would give them the head-to-head. If both of these teams continue to hang around 7th place, Team Impulse's record could be the difference between guaranteeing their spot in the upcoming summer split and playing it in the promotion tournament.
Yeah, this is kind of a case of I don't have to be the fastest one at the race. I just have to be faster than you. Impulse, though, they're coming off a pretty good showing against CSM, where they were making some good picks to keep the game competitive. In particular, their jungler and mid laner could be where Team Impulse looked to build an advantage in this game. While on the other side, Team Dignitas played a competitive early game against Immortals, thanks to Apollo in the bottom lane, along with Kiwi Kid. Both these teams, though, did start out with pretty strong, or at least some good plays, and then end up losing. So right here, though, somebody's going to have to grab this win, because this is very important to both of these teams in climbing from where they are right now. You got to start one rung at a time.
Yeah, there's a lot of value for this game between these two teams. But let's check out the starting lineups. On the blue side, it's Team Dignitas. In the top lane, it's Billy Boss. Jungling is Kire. Mid lane is Shifter with AD carry Apollo, support Kiwi Kid, and their coach helping him out, Inner Flame.
And on the red side, it's Team Impulse. Up top is Fang. In the jungle, Proxen. Mid, Pyrian, AD carry Mash, support Gate, and Coach Jason.
And I actually kind of want to talk a little bit about that bot lane a little bit more. The fact that we saw Apollo keeping pace with Wild Turtle for a long time. Sure, there was a lot of pressure, but he wasn't bullied out of lane, which is important.
Anytime you face Immortals and you come away with some good-looking parts of the game, then you're happy with that, because nobody's actually been able to finish the game versus them, or take a victory. Cloud9 just had one of the most exciting ones against them. But yeah, definitely credit due for the bottom lane for Team Dignitas. They've been performing well. Also, Billy in the top lane. He's had some ups and downs so far this LCS split, but he took the counter matchup. He played the Quinn, bullied Huni in lane, got that CS lead. He was doing what they wanted out of that matchup in the top lane. Things just fell apart later for the team.
Yeah, it really did. And to go back to that bottom matchup, Apollo versus Mash. Yesterday, the big concern for Mash was that he wasn't doing enough damage, even on a high damage champion like Ezreal. And now he's going up against Apollo. It really raises some questions as to how this is going to end up playing out. Yeah,
it's actually, these two AD carries have a lot of shared team histories between them.
They do.
In the challenger scene, of course. But let's just jump right in to Champion Select here and see if they are going to focus on that side of the map. Alistar comes out right off the bat.
Gangplank going to be taken away from Fang, along with Elise and Callista. Banned away from Apollo and Kire. So, of course, that Elise ban, no surprise, he has had some great performances on it.
Yeah, part of the reason Team Dignitas had a good showing was because, Elise, very important for Kire, and Shifter also. The Shifter Ahri has been very, very strong for this team. Some teams already throwing target bans out at him, trying to keep him off of Ahri and hope that he goes with force him to go with something else. Impulse doesn't look like they're going to go that way right now, but they still could drop the last one on it. I mean, it would leave quite a few significant choices up, but see if they decide to go target for their last one. Holding on to a lot of the time here, and they changed their minds, opting for Fiora plus Nidalee's up.
Yeah, getting rid of Billy Boss Fiora, very scary. He did go 5-2-5 last time he played it against CLG. Actually, that was Smitty J. No, we haven't seen Billy Boss take Fiora.
No, he had a good Quinn start was their last game. He played an AD carry up top, though. So he has played an AD carry up in the top side, an offensive split pusher. But this time around, 2 AD carries picked up for Impulse. They pick up the dynamic duo, very strong combination here. Graves, huge physical burst, and Corki now majorly focused on magic damage. That will probably be for Pyrian. In the mid lane. Once again, he has played it before in the mid lane. And I expect the jungle Graves to try and match jungle Nidalee. Because any other champion that you're left with to go versus Nidalee would be very scary, seeing as how so many of these aggressive counter-jungling oriented junglers, when they get their hands on Nidalee, just sort of take over the early game. Kyurei, no exception. Definitely likes to play very offensively.
Yeah, the next two pickups from Dignitas are going to be Poppy, now locked in, likely for Billy Boss in that top lane. We could see Kiwi take it in support if they want to flex it around. And Lucian locked in for Apollo. And we've seen Fang take Poppy as well, so there's a lot of pressure on this.
Yeah, Billy got some Poppy games under his belt as well. They got one of their victories on it. So he's happy to play that front line. Let's see here. Proxen. They're not really giving much away, though. Both of them pretty balanced. Ooh, Gate gonna try his hand at the Bard again. He's had 3 Bard games in a row. That will make this. See if they can make use of the long range engage here. They don't really have a lot of like hard CC though. So it's gonna have to be some good cosmic bindings as well from him. Skill shot's extremely important with Bard.
I actually just had this conversation yesterday. When you learn how to land a skill shot, it completely changes the champion.
Yeah, that's usually a very important part of the champion, is being able to land the abilities.
It's pretty interesting, but we'll see if he is going to be able to get that CC out. And there still is an opportunity to see Pyrion take something other than Corki. Again, it could be flexed. We'll find out. Dignitas are looking at their last 2. This is going to be Shifter in the mid lane.
Shifter Ari is available, but he's already locked in.
Victor is picked.
They'll pick the wave clear for him. And will be a pretty standard setup here now, with Team Dignitas really rounding out their composition. This is a very solid set of champions. They've got the Braum to protect their own minion waves, plus they have Lucian and Victor to clear out enemy minion waves. So a lot of good tower-taking tools for Team Dignitas. They also have a decent team fight, significant frontline setup here. I think a lot of it will be determined by how well Kyurei is able to utilize this Nidalee, because I've definitely been looking for a strong game from him on something other than Elise. Ryze does come in last pick here for Impulse, and that will be some form of targeted hard CC for themselves, but it's going to have to be, you know, those good cosmic bindings and flash knockups from Proxen on the Rek'Sai. If they really want to lock down that team fight. Of course, with this Ryze lock-in, that does mean you get your Corki bottom.
Yeah, and with that, it's still 6.2. Ryze does not have a cap on the spells he can go through during his rotation, so we'll see if Pyrion is able to use that to his utmost effect. And with our 2 team comps on the screen, we're getting ready. This looks to be a pretty exciting match. Lots of damage on both of these teams as we get ready. Dignitas currently 3-6. Tied with Team Impulse at 3-6 as well. So one of these 2 is going to end up 4-6. The other one, 3-7.
Bold prediction, sir. Are you sure you want to extend yourself?
We haven't had a draw yet. We haven't had a draw in the past 4 years. Going on 5?
I think you can bank on that.
Yeah. We'll send that in. But show the team some love. Send your votes to @LOL Esports with the hashtag DIGWin or RENWin. REN-win, not RE-win-win. REN-win.
Whoa, getting
Tip win, not REN-win.
Because that was last game, but...
That was. I'm completely in a just... I'm lost.
Living in the past.
Yeah.
Well, let's head to the future. Jump onto the Summoner's Rift here and take a look, because what is this? Ryze does have Cleanse. So that's actually... He could be looking to just power through a gravity field. This could be a cleanse straight up for the 1v1 situation. Power through a gravity field. You know, if Ryze gets the passive stacked up and you pop your ultimate, just straight run at Victor, you can get through it and might even be able to double up and cleanse the exhaust if Shifter's not really expecting it.
We'll see how he's able to do that, as he does have that exhaust. And defensive lines taken from everyone. Mash scouting it out in the middle. He's high flying above the river, not quite able to find anything. As Feng comfortable in the top against Billy Boss. No damage traded just yet. Actually, Feng did take just a little bit. So he's going to wander around for a bit as Kyurei gets a nice deep ward. Doesn't look like we're seeing too much. Actually, Billy Boss is now heading towards the bottom, and Apollo and Kiwi heading towards the top, so Dignitas pulling the trigger on a lane swap.
Lucian Braum definitely has potential if they go for this steep invade of, catching someone as well. The pings are coming out, but it's a kind of a late invade if they're looking to stop that Krug start. Looks like they will get around here, though. I think they will go for it. Walking over a ward means that Impulse won't even start the Krugs, so that late invade will find no one, and they will see the Impulse jungle duo walk over to the Wraith camp. Raptors, I guess, now.
Gromp going to be snagged away by Mash and Gate before they head down bottom to bully Billy Boss.
Billy going to sneak some experience here. He's making a dash for the minions. Try and get the experience as quickly as he possibly can. Oh, gets all 3 melees. That is a success for a top laner in the early game during a lane swap. Now he's going to run away with the gold that he's earned and try to go back to the other side of the map. What you want to do now is escape with your bag of gold that you've just stolen and your life, and just go up to a standard lane swap where he can go lend a hand up on the top side of the map. Just going to stop off here with some extra counter jungling of basically jungling your own side is counter jungling. But Kirei
takes the ignite, forced to flash out. Billy Boss is now going to be the one to run. Flashes, gets himself away as well, and Team Impulse delayed invade.
It's the sort of the drawback of the risky counter jungling your own side there. When in a lane swap, this is not really your territory, even though it is technically your side of the map. Jungling your side of the map in the lane swap like that is counter jungling your opponents, and they did take away the extra camp, however, costs them their flashes. So we'll see if the flashless jungle and top laner are actually punished at all, or if they're able to just farm through the 5-minute cooldown here, because Kira's got a lot of camps ahead of him to take, and we'll see if Team Dignitas can actually capitalize on that and go cash in on the extra standing camps in time, or if Impulse are actually able to force something, because Impulse are just going to hard push this turret, try and shove to create something else for themselves on that side of the map. As of right now, still fairly equal. Impulse probably will get the first turret down about the same time, actually.
Yeah, that bottom tier 1 being brought low. Similarly, Billy Boss is going to finish off this last one. Ooh, perfect bounce. There's the wave. Fang gets one similar. It's close. Not quite perfect. That's like a 95%.
So currently, the extra camps there doing some work for Team Dignitas. Kirei is about 300 gold ahead of Proxen at the moment. And top laners are perfectly tied, as they were not able to snag any of the little ones.
Yeah, because Proxen spent so much time down there, he does have that gold difference. Kirei flashless, continuing to roam around, actually is even going to get the red buff on that top side. So Team Impulse not quite capitalizing on Kirei so far, but his flash is still down for another 2.5 minutes, so we'll see if they can find him in the meantime. Apollo actually heads back to the top lane. Kiwi is going to spot out Gates Bard, so they know that the duo is answered.
He gets the jump on the pink ward as well. So Kiwi's going to be able to cash that one in quickly, and that means that this Impulse top side has to be a little bit more careful. They don't have any vision up here. There's no turret. They're definitely exposed. As of right now, Kirei is just hard farming, though, to try and hold this little advantage that he has over Proxen, try and grow it into something significant. That means he'll also be on the other side of the map. He can answer and help Billy soak up minions if they do decide to go for an invade.
Yeah,
because he cleaned his own jungle. That means there's nothing here for Impulse to take.
They're trying. They spot Kirei out. He's already level 5, and in fact gets some good damage onto Proxen. Is now pinging away the rest of his team. They thought they could get me, but they couldn't.
They thought wrong. Italy with an experience advantage and landing spears here. Kirei definitely looking good so far. Billy Boss as well, happy to soak up the extra minions here on the bot side. So not only is that jungle advantage holding for them, but Dignitas trying to get this Poppy into a place where she'll be strong against Graves.
Furion going to be all in by Shifter. Doesn't have to burn any summoner spells, though, as the experience advantage for Shifter bullies him away from the lane.
Yeah, Shifter just jumping on the minion control that he has. Early level 6, uses it just for the chunk, And that is going to mean that Pyrian has to back off a little bit. He wants to stick around and soak this experience. Since there's no jungle pressure, he should be able to do it. But Shifter was able to deny a small amount. It is all about these very small wins for Dignitas as of right now. They're taking very, very small chunks out of the Impulse gold. Total
Right.
gold lead.
Looking to take small chunks out of Impulse's health as he tosses spears, but his ward is going to be spotted by the pink of Impulse, who haven't cleared it just yet. I'm sure that's got a limited lifespan. Proxen, however, heads towards the top lane along with Mash. Oh, they're coming around now. Kiwi has to be careful not to get bound, and he is not.
Meanwhile, this big wave that Billy Boss has down bottom, heading towards the turret. And a bit of it is going to get cut off by the turret, so maybe a few of the melees denied. Fang a little bit slow on that move down bottom, so misses out on some of the comeback gold. Does get up to the level 5 though, important for him, as Billy does have another one of those small leads over his lane opponent currently.
Proxen with the invade spots Kirei as he roams top, looking for some action, but not quite able to find it. Pyrian is pretty deep in Dignitas' territory as well. Gets a ward that Shifter sees. And I believe that everybody's just going to take it calm and patient.
Ooh, here's not a calm teleport.
Yeah, that was not calm at all. Flash, oh, doesn't quite get the magical journey. Mash is going to make it through on the far side, but he's still only level 5. Lockdown, not calm at all.
And here comes the answer. Continue, sir.
Team Impulse look for more Flash. Knockup finds Kiwi Kid. He's brought low and goes down. Billy Boss first the Flash. Doesn't make it over the wall. He actually did break vision, so he's able to sneak away, but they're collapsing onto Apollo now. Fang gets some good damage. Flash into the brush.
I'm
and
just a krug, man. Don't shoot me. Billy finds himself safe regardless, as they decide to turn their sights towards Apollo and take him down. Impulse able to answer back with 2 of their own, plus turret pressure. Gonna get the objective afterwards here. So all said and done, Impulse happy with the way they were able to turn that one around.
So before the turret gets taken, it's even in gold. Now that it has been taken, that is gonna put Team Impulse. Oh, come on, guys, I'm trying to illustrate a point here. You gotta take the turret.
Your timeline here.
I know.
Your agenda has been...
I don't know that...
they're not even going to finish it
I know.
probably there. I think they're going to be able to defend. Anyways, let's take another look here. Teleport in, focus on gate. He does get through. It's an interesting choice here for Kiwi Kid. He just decides to immediately take the magical journey through, so he's there waiting for Mash. But now, everyone is split. And let me take a look at Apollo. Does he get chunked by gate? No, he's just able to get off a decent amount of damage, but Fang is up there, top laner on the top side, and will be able to solo him. They did get the Rek'Sai tag. Ugh, that Graves damage early on is monstrous.
Fang secures the kill at the end, 2-1 in favor of Team Impulse, and in fact, they did take the turret. However, it's still even in gold. Dignitas picking up a bit of a CS advantage onto Shifter. Not to mention Kirei, who's been all over the jungle, time and time again, clearing it out. Impulse are going to look for this dragon, however.
So 1 turret lead for Team Impulse, and now 1 dragon lead if they're able to secure this without, well, there's literally nothing for Team Dignitas that could steal it, so 1 dragon lead there. But whenever the gold is even and you have a turret lead and it's just an outer turret, you feel a little bit uneasy about your lead because just 1 team fight swung the wrong way, and that standing gold from the extra outer turret can be recouped fairly quickly. Mid lane though, Shifter gonna play a dangerous game and try and wave clear here with Victor. Oh, look at that. Can't quite get the cannon minion, actually. A little bit of a heartbreaker there for him. Not quite powerful enough yet. Is able to save the turret though. Just fine for Team Dignitas, and blue buff is secured for him, so he should be able to continue to do that.
Team Impulse trying to put some pressure on the mid lane, but now it's Dignitas who are making moves. Spear still gonna find Fang. Kirei does not commit to the dive, just going to buy some time for Apollo to chunk out this turret.
Wise choice right there, not to go for the dive. Graves Burst, we've already seen what it can do to squishy champions. Apollo will keep up the damage here. Red buff enhanced in Italy. Looks like Team Dignitas want to level out this turret lead pretty quickly, even up, but unable to finish the job as of yet. Nice chunk.
Yeah, Fang's still going to be able to survive. Gate makes it up top and makes it to level 6, while Billy Boss decides to rotate mid.
They were leaving Mash down bottom to push that bottom lane, but he doesn't decide to finish off the extra wave of minions and shove it all the way into turret. He's needed immediately topside, so Impulse make the choice to try and bring him up to defend this turret, even though it looks like the two-man squad actually had that handled, and it's really the three-man squad in mid that's keeping up the pressure here. Impulse actually hold on to both and get the wave down bottom, bouncing back towards themselves. If you leave the wave closer to Team Dignitas territory, then that will naturally push towards Impulse side because the reinforcements arrive so much quicker, and they'll be able to focus down the minions that are currently there battling each other. So Mash creating a bounce back for himself on that bottom side. Apollo gonna go hurry it along though.
Dignitas playing a patient game by putting some pressure on the mid and top tier 2 turrets. Actually mid tier 1, not quite able to take it. Kirei looks for an invade with the rest of his team. They're not quite able to find too much though, but yeah. Impulse on the top side.
Impulse, I think that they would like to answer mid turret for this bottom turret trade. They're gonna try and go for the 2-for-1 here, grab the Rift Herald and then answer mid, but I think that's not gonna be on the table because Victor, now level 9, back the lane, also was able to purchase a little bit more ability power, so the wave clear is definitely there for Team Dignitas. And the question of whether they would have even been able to finish off that turret, about 60% health right now. So they go for the little bit safer choice. Rift Herald will be theirs, but it does mean that 1,000 gold lead for Team Dignitas.
They don't in fact even answer. It's the bottom tier 1 for Team Impulse, and Rift Herald secured for, the Dignitas take the bottom tier 1. Team Impulse take the Rift Herald. Now Dignitas going to find more damage on another tier 2 turret, and we're seeing this play, but flipped on the other side of the map. Mash was just top. He recalled only now.
They do have Graves for a wave clear here. He's not able to get it done. There's the initiation.
Kiwi's still going to be caught. Dashes forward, stun, finds Piri, and he's knocked up and locked up. They're trying to bring him down. They're actually able to kill Proxen in the front. Billy Boss, however, caught in a fight with Ryze, who's fully powered. He's going to end up going down. Yeah,
even though Billy was able to isolate Ryze there with the flash stun into the wall, can't 1v1. You can't finish that fight. It has to be something else, capitalizing on your wall stun there. But meanwhile, it was sort of Proxen sacrificing himself as the frontliner. Both frontliners do go down for both teams, but it's Impulse who get to shove with that Rift Herald buff. And they're going to get that turret lead back for themselves, taking down mid.
They fast track down mid lane, still 3 minions, but they don't want to take any chances. They're going to leave it standing. Billy Boss with the revive and teleport finds the back line. Pyrian goes down. Shifter getting revenge.
Yeah, overstaying there. They didn't even 100% commit to trying to burn down that turret. It is very difficult to do against Victor and Braum, who can control waves so well, but it was sort of a half-hearted move there from Team Impulse. Ryze was also out of mana, so even if they tried to fight or something, they would definitely have lost out. And Team Dignitas able to defend their gold lead.
It seems like the bit of hesitancy from Team Impulse that we've seen really cripple them in the past. And slowly but surely, Dignitas, it's still only about a 1,500 gold lead between the two 15 minutes in, but Dignitas has the turret advantage. Actually, no, they don't. It is even in turrets.
No, yeah, it's that gold lead that they're defending.
It's a gold advantage.
That's what I was talking about at the beginning of the game, where you feel a little bit uneasy when the gold is even and you have a turret advantage, because there's that standing gold that the enemy can recoup. But the other thing that Dignitas are about to receive is a giant gold package down bottom. Huge wave there for Billy Boss. He's going to go soak that up.
Apollo secures red on his own, while Team Impulse once again in the mid lane. Looking to put the finishing touches on that as Billy Boss catches all of this farm in the solo lane, even trying to pull back a bit so that it continues to push into him. Blue buff passed over now to Pyrian, not going to have any mana troubles once again. Team
Dignitas have been able to purchase and now can group up here. They've got Viktor, Lucian, Nidalee that they can poke here. Braum can put up the wall as well and try and shove in. Unbreakable Will is great at blocking that wave clear. Rise, though, you have to be very careful about getting too close.
Dragon has just spawned. There goes the Tempered Fate.
Gate keeps throwing out these long-range Tempered Fates, and I'm not sure what they're fishing for. Because as I said before, the hard CC, you know, the control for the team fight comes from a flash unburrow from Proxen and follow up with Pyrion and maybe that Cosmic Binding. But nobody even anywhere close to follow up on that. And that means that Team Dignitas are going to trade their damage on this mid turret. Oh no, no minion wave, so they don't trade anything. They're going to come over and take the fight.
Ooh, Spear finds Pyrion for some good damage. Kyurei with the Runic Echoes chunks him out. Team Impulse were positioned to it, but they just couldn't quite pull the trigger on that turret.
Well, I mean, no minions there. It was a smart move by Team Dignitas. They knew 30 seconds, that's plenty of time. They annihilate the minion wave, move down to take out the dragon very quickly, and get back before the next minion wave arrives. Whereas Team Impulse, maybe that hesitancy you're talking about, they're just kind of waiting for the objectives to fall for them. And not going to happen. As Team Dignitas taking a little bit more proactive approach here, as everybody, the hit squad's coming for Graves, and Graves all alone.
Ooh, Flash is going to be used. Winter's Bite still catches him though. Lots of damage is burning through. Culling in another Flash is burned. He's pulling a lot of attention, but he's going to go down in the end.
Yeah, smart combo there from Kiwi Kid. Going with the Flash, Winter's Bite gets the slow, then it means he has an easy ultimate to hit, even long range because of that slow, and they are able to find that kill. So mission successful for the hit squad. Take another look. It's a huge flash. So even if you flash afterwards and uses the ultimate to gain extra distance, the very tip of Kiwi's Braum ultimate is going to find the knock-up and subsequent slow.
18 minutes in, Dignitas lead by about 2,000 gold after getting that kill onto Fang. He is keeping up in CS, however. In fact, 10 ahead of Billy Boss. While our mid laners resume their duel in the mid lane, Shifter opening a pretty wide gap himself, 40 CS ahead of Pyrion. Gate is looking to upset that balance, but Shifter already well aware. Woo!
That one gets a flash. I don't think the previous ones got flashes. Kiwi Kid gets caught though.
Taking a lot of damage, has got his shield facing the wrong way. Proxen looking for the knockup. He finds Apollo. Apollo gets locked down and dropped down. He's dead. Mash gets that one while Team Impulse continuing to chase forward. Billy Boss gets destroyed by Pyrion and the rest of Impulse.
And Rise is popping off. A lot of damage coming out there. They were able to catch Kiwi Kid in sort of a two-pronged engage there. Gate was able to burn the flash from Shifter, which reduces so much of the teamfight presence of Team Dignitas. They don't have their level 11 Viktor threatening or trying to defend the Braum, so Kiwi Kid was easy pickings as the rest of Impulse were able to focus.
Calm down.
Crowd's got that one. Yeah. Anytime you get hit by a spear.
It's one spear.
But Impulse are able to grab not only the mid turrets, but also another Rift Herald for themselves. Let's take another look here, because this was a good Tempered Fate from Gate. Burns the flash from Shifter, also zones him out from the beginning. Rise, though, so much damage, and he's got more in the tank. Proxen gets right into the middle. There's that Unburrow, able to section off this team fight, allow Pyrion to flash in with the Rise and grab Lucian. Once Lucian goes down, the heart of Team Dignitas' team fight is gone. They don't have the damage output. And a good cleanup there from Team Impulse. So very, very close game. And bring it right back to even.
Just about even between the two. Rift Herald passed over to Mash, the AD carry. The debate continues. Who gets the Rift Herald buff? Impulse think it's going to be Mash this time. Kyurei continuing to farm it up in his jungle. Is he even going to be kind enough to give blue buff over? All right, good guy Nidalee. Passes that over to Shifter, rocking nearly a 40 CS lead over Proxen. Team Impulse continue to look for some action, however, as they try to clear out the vision around this Baron. Fang is split on the far side with Teleport. Billy Boss does not have his.
Yeah, Fang looks to be chasing Billy Boss out of his off his lawn at the moment on Graves. And he's able to push the wave back out. I think package arriving right now with a level 11 Corki is a real opportunity for Impulse to create another play like that. After burning the flash from Shifter, that Victor does become a vulnerability. If they wait too long, though, Apollo's flash will be back up, and that back line becomes a little bit harder to target. What they would look for right now would be a great Tempered Fate onto both the Victor as well as Lucian. That would be ideal, and then be able to capitalize. But they're just going to leave the package in base. Smash leaves it there because Team Dignitas aren't really extending anywhere. They don't really expose themselves. There's not too much vision they're fighting over at the moment. Leaving the package in base and waiting for a better opportunity to force a play.
Very patient game from Dignitas and Impulse. Period in the mid continues to farm it up, but still down about 50 CS behind Shifter.
Yeah. Proxen is the one jungler down. Much more, of course. That's not fair, comparing mid laners to junglers farm.
No, I was saying Pyrian.
Yeah, I know. It was earlier. Don't worry about it. All right. Well, Team Dignitas is going to shove up on the top side. And, honestly, I'm just waiting for the next team fight because both teams seem very hesitant. Dignitas have a lot of vision up through the red side jungle, and they're the ones trying to pressure in on the turret.
It is a very even game. 300 gold separating the teams, and the turrets, they're still at such low health, but nobody can finish them off. Now, Dragon has respawned. Broxton did get the fast track to it. He's going to spot Kirei. Might look for the smite steal. Oh,
he got it.
Secured. Secret Agent Proxen.
All right. Dragon number 2. Is that worth fighting over? Dignitas deem it unnecessary.
Dragon 2, Team Impulse.
Yeah, it feels like they're kind of unsure of what to go for when facing this Ryze. The Ryze has already taken them out in a team fight, and with the package being picked up by MASH, it makes you very, very hesitant to really contest any objectives or even move out to place your vision because of the threat of the long-range Tempered Fate. Bard is a very long-range engage, and if your carries don't have flash up, it could be a very, very big pick for Team Impulse.
Kirei says, you take my red, I take your raptors. Smite is available, and he's going to take it and get out of there. Not even clearing out the rest of the camp.
They've been working on this mid turret for a long time. But they're going to have to continue to wait as the Ryze and Graves wave clear. There's plenty.
24.5 minutes in. Dignitas taking their time after some pretty powerful movements for the first 15 minutes or so. They're caught out. Here comes Kiwi Kid, taking a lot of damage. Teleport being used by Billy Boss. Knockup finds no one. As Billy Boss joins in, Impulse our group does 5.
All right, both teleports burned. Thought you might have a pick there with the fight over the deep blue side warding, but
not today. Oh, Tempered Fate finds Shifter. Can they get him? No snare. Billy Boss runs and makes it under the tier 2. This crowd is so excited.
Honestly, flashes have been burned. That means next time, guys. Next time they won't have flash.
It's time to go.
Cooldown on that Tempered Fate, much shorter. They're going to look to aim for Shifter.
Everyone's on the edge of their seats, waiting for the next spear.
Gates got his eye on Shifter. Tempered Fate comes back up. They're going to go for it. Pyrian is ready to capitalize with this Ryze. Stacked up fully. They've got Graves with both shields ready, so Fang can jump right into the thick of things, get in the middle of the team fight, pop both shields, and try and lifesteal back up to full. They have a lot of tools to bring down a team fight, but Team Dignitas are kind of just waiting for Impulse to make a mistake because they're very scared of the Ryze and Graves taking over this mid-game team fight, especially with Corki having Trinity Force and all of the flat attack damage from the early BF Sword and Pickaxe build. They're a little bit scared to take that on. What could be the game changer for Team Dignitas, though? When Impulse look for this fight and they overextend, if you get a great Poppy ultimate, evening the numbers, You know, Rise is great and all, but if he's 1 versus 5, Team Dignitas can take him down.
That's a very optimistic keeper's verdict.
Hey man, I've seen some really game-changing Poppy ultimates.
You play with different Poppies than I do.
Especially around Baron. Another crab down.
Oh, the ward vision once again. Kiwi can't
They
wait.
caught Kiwi.
Saw this. Spear. Ooh. Missed
Period,
by that much. Oh, Pyrian, though, gets stunned against the wall. Billy Boss needs some backup. He's locked down. Flashes the spear. They disengage. Kiwi might be caught once again. Doesn't have his flash.
The North American LCS playground. All right, Flash is down now for both mid laners. Cleanse also, so the get out of jail free cards are being spent quickly.
These guys need to make it around the board one more time to get that refresh. The mid-tier 1 could go down.
Shifter!
Fight finds Shifter. Fang is pinned against the wall. They're trying to lock him down, but he's still alive. No deaths for now. But that mid-tier 1 is
that
the
turret,
target.
though.
Apollo wants it. Apollo gets it.
Progress.
All right, we've had our first change in the game in the first 12 minutes.
Hey man, flashes going down
Yes.
are big turning points in the game. As we said, Gate had his eye on Shifter. Bam, bullseye, got him. Peppered Fate right onto him, but it's not enough to win the team fight. He was trying to go for a good Cosmic Binding afterward. You could see him positioning to try and get both Apollo and Shifter, you know, after the invulnerability wore off. Wasn't able to snag it though. Meanwhile, Gate, Fang on the front line did pop both shields and was chunked out so low, couldn't add the damage, so they had to give up the turret. And there's your momentous change.
Yeah, swing the entire game.
Honestly though, mid turret going down is a big deal. You can get that deep. All right, honestly, they've had deep vision already anyway.
They have. They caught Kiwi twice. They burned his flash, not once, but twice.
Yeah.
And then they lost the turret off of it.
They both really do have the team fighting possibilities here. Team Dignitas don't really have any other outs. They don't have a split push threat. They don't really have too much of a pick threat. So Team Dignitas, while we're like, okay, they're kind of waiting for mistakes, it's because they don't really have the tools to create, you know, picks for themselves or split pushing threat for themselves. And on Team Impulse's side, it's always a little risky to have Graves overextended because Nidalee is such a mobile jungler. Poppy can lock you down long enough. While Poppy might not be able to solo you, it can lock you down for a significant amount of time. If Nidalee can close on that gap, they could take your split pusher out very quickly. And Impulse really want to work around that Rise, the powerful Rise right now.
The crowd is so pumped for that Rise. They're excited to see when it happens.
You know what? I'm going to check in on you guys, see when the package is coming. Oh, Mash is holding on to the package.
Ooh. Could be looking for a fight.
Mash holding his package up on the top side of the map. Woo, woo, woo. Graves soloing Dragon right now. Let's get a look at that Dragon fight.
Oh, Dragon number 3 for Team Impulse. He groups up Teleport from Billy Boss.
Teleport for Impulse is available.
Oh, Proxen hesitates a bit. Has to be careful. Tempered Fate finds none. Billy Boss drops some damage. Proxen looking for his target. Fang is caught against the wall. Knockup is going to lock him down. Here comes the package, splitting Dignitas in two. Billy Boss takes quite a lot. Pyrian is in, though. Shifter is in the front line. They're not quite able to get anyone, though. Finally, Kiwi and Shifter are going to go down. They're trading Fang over. And Dignitas losing 2, but getting 1.
Ooh, close trade right there. Apollo is able to clean up the kill for Team Dignitas as Fang can't quite get over the wall and was hit with the stun. But still, they came out on the losing end. 2 members down. Team Dignitas starting up this Dragon.
Yeah, it's 4v3.
But they're getting run off quickly.
Proxen is going to fade away for the rest of Dignitas. They're zoned away from the back. Dragon 3 secured for Team Impulse.
Very well could be that Dragon 5 game with the pace this one is going at. All right, Tempered Fate just gets Lucian Dash, which is very low cooldown, so not much gain there. Billy Boss stun onto Fang, knock up onto Fang from both his ultimate. Oh, the Braum actually didn't even go towards him. But then the package coming in, a huge zone there. And that meant that they weren't able to take down Rise. But look at these flashes as Kyrie and Apollo go to finish off Fang on the bottom side.
Solid fight for Impulse. Proxen nets yet another Scuttle Crab before getting a jab from Baron. It's not cool, Baron.
The hell?
That's not cool.
Thought spikes are only supposed to proc when there are more people behind Baron than in front of it. I'll have to check back in on that.
Well, there was more people. There was one person and 0.
There was an extra person in range. Yeah, well, you know, one is more than none.
Oh, Dignitas pulled the trigger on this Baron. There goes the blue trinket, and they're forced to back away.
Oh, baby. You know it's getting spicy when Dignitas start off Baron. All 5 members of the enemy team are alive. But they pull right off of it.
Impulse in the mid lane are going to look for this tier 2. Fang is splitting in the bottom. He has his teleport.
They have decided to commit to that Graves split push. So they've got Fang down there. He doesn't have flash, but they know they have teleport advantage. So, yeah,
I'm so excited.
You're unhappy with the way that wave stopped right perfectly in front of the turret, huh? Billy Boss is going to go clean up that cache.
It's now even in CS in the top lane, 214 to 218. Kiray's continuing to farm it out in the jungle, opening up a pretty big advantage over Proxin, while Shifter has an advantage of his own. Mash, though, making up for that with 30 CS ahead. Billy Boss, you gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself. There's a ward in that bush, mate.
All right, let's look at possibilities then. No options. Let's theory.
Oh, no, he's got it. He's got it.
Impulse.
Yeah.
Well, we watch this ward go down. Impulse, maybe they can have a more creative use of Bard. How about, huh? Maybe try and, all right, let's take a look at Baron, because that's more interesting in big games. All right, they've got the True Sight over Baron right now. They do have pretty good vision control, even doubling up on pink wards in that side rush. All right, that just means 10 auto attacks from Proxin, and they'll clear it out. But again, Impulse, they are committing to the split push here with Fang. They know that they have the teleport advantage, so they're going to get at least some pressure on the bottom turret out of this. But how about Gate goes down to have a 2-man split push here with Fang? Because Bard is so mobile, you wait until you have charms lined up through the jungle. Use a magical journey so you can, you know, move from bottom lane up to Baron quicker, run across a couple charms for the speed boost,
and then dash into the Baron pit.
And then Tempered Fate to delay it and buy extra time.
Ah. I like it. I like it.
Creative Bard use. Honestly.
He's a creative player.
Here we go. Creative Mash. Just kidding.
He's spotted. Blue trinket in that. Tribush is going to spot him out. And Dignitas.
Charms are actually kind of hard to track in spectator mode for me.
You're actually looking at the charm placement. He's looking across the map to look for where the charms are currently located.
It's tough because you can't set that play up. It just has to happen. You just have to have great charm placement for multiple boosts
over the course of a few minutes. Oh,
you can set up your health packs though.
You can.
Yeah, he could set up a speed line.
But you can only have a limited number. You can only have
shrines.
Up three shrines.
Set up 3 shrines. Buy your chimes.
Yeah.
Would you like some shrines with your chimes?
Very slow game between the two. Dignitas taking their time, trying not to give up anything. And Team Impulse have actually... Oh, it's actually dead even in gold. Wow. Just went right...
Oh, look at that.
Hey.
Porky Package. That's a playmaking ability if I've ever seen one. He's going top lane to split by himself, though. He's taking Bard with him, actually.
We've got 60 seconds for that package. It'll be finished in 36-15. He's on the top side. Bard is on that top side. Fang has teleport. Team Impulse could be looking for the Baron play.
Oh, baby. Fang splitting down bottom. The teleports have equalized, so they don't have the advantage down there anymore. And Poppy actually with Frozen Fist is fairly intimidating. I'd like to see that all in for science. See if Billy could get the angle on Fang. That fight is pretty interesting just because both of them are looking for the angle on walls. As Graves wants to get the bounce back from Q and Poppy wants to get the heroic charge.
Hey! Team Impulse takes the top lane tier 2. They've still got the package for 10 more seconds.
Use it!
Guys, we're off.
All right, let's wait. What do we got? 5
There we
more
go.
minutes? Is that what it is? 8 minutes? It'll be back, guys.
36.5 minutes. Finally, the tier 2 goes down. Dignitas are unable to answer. Fang is going to catch the wave, prepped on the far side. Dragon, number 2 for Dignitas.
Or number 4 for Team Impulse. Huh?
There's the Tempered Fate. It finds only the Dragon. They're keeping Proxin away from the pit. There's a fight, gentlemen. This is Proxin. He's knocked up and out.
Billy Boss got the front line.
5v3 knockup is going to find Gate. He's locked down. He goes down. Kirei chases over the wall. He didn't want to be there. He dies to Fang. It's a 1-for-1 trade. There's the Dragon, number 2 secured for Dignitas. Team Impulse continue to chase forward. Fang's got a lot of damage, but they can't chase through.
Oh. I don't know. Kirei will never trust a magical journey again. That was an accident.
It wasn't his team's magical journey.
This is like the hokey pokey. You stick 1 foot in, you sucked all the way through the magical journey, and you die. What a dangerous game of... All right. No, it's a Baron. Holy
this is the Baron play.
4-4 Baron.
Aggressive play, 4 versus 4. There is no smite. Looks like they're turning on to Proxin. Apollo's still kept alive. Shifter is turned onto by Fang. Fang brings him low along with Pyrian. They get the kill, and wait, Dignitas, you're going the wrong way, guys. Fang tries to chase them away.
Ooh.
Dig are running the long way around. Oh, Mash, Valkyrie's forward. He gets some damage onto Apollo. Here's a magical journey. Here comes Gate, looking for the cosmic binding of the sentry. Doesn't quite find it.
Oh, he's got...
Oh, and here
Right
comes
side.
Proxin as well. Dignitas says, I will die, so my 80k. They don't even care about him. They're chasing down Apollo on the other side. He flashes over the wall. He's running as best he can. Shut down by Proxin. Now they got him.
Can we get you
Kiwi
do,
Kid.
run?
Team Impulse, 3,000 gold lead. It's 3 members of Dignitas dead.
That was Dignitas evasive maneuvers. Everyone scramble, run opposite directions, but Impulse, they picked up every single one. No one escapes, and they return to the scene of the crime. Baron that started it all, they're going to be able to take this one unless Kirei gets a magical... No.
Baron secured. Team Impulse. Now they finally have got the momentum they have been looking for. Double 80 carry rise. Could be a very scary push. And Dignitas in a tricky situation.
Tricky and sticky. I don't know why it's sticky, but Baron Goop?
Baron has a lot of
right. Anyways, this is how it all started. Impulse, they bait him in. They want the team fight because they've got the Corki, Rise, Graves ready to roll. And look at that burst! Fang right next to Shifter blows his head off, and then they're able to go on this long chase. As we know, Apollo and Kiwi Kid, the dynamic duo, gonna split up here, run opposite directions. Kiwi Kid, take the high road. I'm gonna go low. He does get a juke here, flashes that, dodges that, dies to that.
I think actually Feng teleported down there to lock him down. It was on cooldown.
Yeah, he did. Yep, he did indeed. Oh,
Okay,
hey, so that's a teleport advantage for Team Dignitas, though. Even though Baron buff is on Impulse, you got to count your blessings here for Team Dignitas.
It's a teleport advantage, but they're giving up this bottom tier too.
That sucker's gone.
And crowd goes wild. You can see Baron's still up for another minute and 30 seconds. They do have that Runic Affinity.
Yep.
Working down this inhibitor turret. Lots of wave clear from Shifter. Dignitas look like they're going to hold on to that for now while Pyrian starts prepping the wave in the mid lane.
Yep. I'm still looking for Billy Boss to be this. Are they going to go for the shot? Uh-oh, Billy Boss!
Whoa!
Wait a second, you're supposed to do that when there's a hard engage. So what? Yeah, the ideal way, the way you change the game with Poppy, a giant Poppy ultimate after someone hard commits, and there's some hard CC to lock them into a team fight so that you can change the numbers quickly. You can get a 5 versus 2, a 5 versus 3 sort of scenario there. Try and burn someone down on this team that's ahead of you. But that right there, they lose the turret. It's kind of just a disengage in that case, and Team Dig gonna have to huddle inside the Alamo. See how long they can hold it for.
The last defense of Dignitas. We'll see if it is the last or if they continue to hold it out.
Guess what?
What?
It's been 8 minutes. Package arrived.
Mash.
Wait a second, let me look this up real quick.
I know it's either 8 or 5. I'm pretty sure it's 8.
He's still hanging on to it for now. 8. Still got 30 seconds.
After 8 for the first one.
Yeah, 35 seconds left on that package. Baron not going to be on that wave. 20 seconds left on that remaining Baron buff for Proxen. He's just going to clear out a bit of vision. Trying to keep a timer on that package just to make sure. He's got about 20 seconds left on it. Down to 15 now. Ten seconds left on the package. It's wearing out. Hey!
Everyone's freaking out. Those minions never had a chance. Honestly, time for Impulse to move this ward line up. They've got pretty good coverage, both sides of the jungle. Dragon number 4 will be the next one for themselves, because Team Dignitas were able to snag that earlier one.
Fang did set up a wave on the top side of the map.
So I was right. It is both 8 minutes and 5 minutes.
Hey! After
8
25
minutes. 8 minutes is just for the first one. And then it's every 5 minutes after you pick up the current one.
Scuttle Crab secured by Team Impulse. They've got double wards to herald their entrance to Dragon number 4. Kire's on the other side. He's on the Baron side.
The 6th dragon meets its doom for this game. 2 killed at the hands of Team Dignitas. And 4 to Impulse. Get him, Ghost! Let's...
Apollo ain't afraid of no ghost.
Same, actually. Never have been. Seems kind of like a ridiculous concept. I need some proof.
To be afraid of ghosts?
Yeah,
have you never seen Ghostbusters?
I have seen Ghostbusters. That's just got Slimer. He's just a
It's
comical,
based on a true
ridiculous
story.
ghost. I grew up on Slimer and Casper. No wonder I'm not afraid of ghosts.
The 2 least intimidating ghosts you could possibly imagine.
And before I'm haunted for the rest of my life. All right. Can Team Dignitas hold on and exploit a Team Impulse mistake? Because that's really what they're looking for here. As we've said multiple times, they really want to turn around an Impulse move. Actually, right now, shoving straight up mid, though. Team Dignitas taking their future into their own hands.
Making moves, but here comes a collapse from Fang and Proxen. Proxen gets in the back. Shifter's caught by the Tempered Fate. They're collapsing onto Apollo. He flashes. Shifter in the front line. He goes low. He goes down. Fang gets it. Apollo's still alive, trying to cut it out. Pyrian actually is going to be the one who drops. Kire's caught with his Zagas. He drops, and Proxen continues to chase forward. Apollo's doing the damage he can. Can he keep Dignitas in this? Another member falls. Billy Boss is buying time. He's the sole survivor, and Team Impulse win this fight with an ace.
Team Dignitas finally decided to take their own destiny into their own hands, and Impulse punished them for it. Gate starts it off with that Tempered Fate, and the team just cleans up here. Look at that, they're surrounded. Engaging from all angles here are Team Impulse, and even though Billy Boss does get the ejection on Rek'Sai, the front line is gone. Doesn't matter here, and they're able to collapse. Kire got locked up under the turret, and that's the game.
Team Impulse able to take the win in a 45-minute manner. That's Team Impulse at 4 and 6 in the standings, defeating Dignitas.
All right, no longer retiring, going back to the NBA. You guys got what?
Impulse looking awfully happy after that win. Very patient game between them. Really, neither of the teams wanted to take any chances until that very last play from Dignitas.
Impulse, yeah, I mean, Impulse, they knew they had that team fight in hand. They forced it at Baron at the 4 versus 4. They were able to pick up the straggler kills, got that Baron, and they were able to clean up some turrets. But then, yeah, at the end there, Dignitas deciding it's time to march straight up mid, and Impulse happily collapse from all angles. Take the
Solid
victory.
play. Impulse now a step ahead, taking that win. You can see some big smiles.
Yeah, they're definitely happy to grab this win. As we said, 3-3 for both these guys coming into the game. This bumps Team Impulse up above Team Dignitas in the standings.
Very important. As we mentioned, this could have implications later on in the split once we start getting closer and closer to playoffs. Dignitas have a pretty tough week next week, taking on Energy and TSM. Team Impulse have a similarly tough week, CLG and Echo Fox.
Yeah, Echo Fox have been looking so much better since they got their actual roster back, and now they're on a roll. You know, back-to-back wins for Echo Fox today. Well, this weekend.
Yeah. They've had 2 wins today? Yeah. That's good. That's impressive.
But yeah, honestly, that is going to be another very important game for Team Impulse to win, because all these ones kind of around the bottom of the standings are trying to just put distance between themselves and Renegades.
Yeah, and it is so important to get these wins with teams similarly placed with you in the standings. Yes, we're a few weeks away from relegations and promos. Wow, I can't even talk after that. A few weeks away still, but the fact that we're playing these games now means that the points will be important later on. You're just gonna let me drown here.
I was
You're
totally distracted by your colorful tie here. So yes, I agree with whatever you said. I'm pretty sure it was definitely on point. Honestly, though, this game, yeah, that was a pretty big win for Team Impulse. So let's hand it over to you.
Yeah.
You can hand it off.
I'll do that. Let's hand it over to Riv. And Riv can talk with Impulse's top laner.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Great handoff and great cast on the day. I am joined by Fang after their victory over Dignitas. Impulse moving up the standings now. But I got to ask you, Fang, it's been a while since we've seen you. Now with the victory, how does it feel to get it? And how does it feel to really be back?
You feel pretty good, yeah.
How's it now with the camaraderie of the team? You guys have had to sub in and out Seraph. What does it feel like playing with the full team again?
I feel pretty good because we practice so hard. Everyone put in the effort, so I expect a win today. So,
well, I expected the win. You guys got it. I got to ask you, Fang, where do you guys see yourselves coming now into the second part of the split? Where do you feel like Impulse can end up in the standings?
I think if everyone keep working hard, right, we definitely play a team.
All right, it sounds great. One more question for you. It's going to be a tough week next week. Echo Fox looking good, and you have Counter Logic Gaming. How are you feeling, and how are you going to prepare?
I think it's same thing. We just need to working ourselves and keep working hard, and we'll be ready for them.
Keep it simple, keep it easy. Congratulations on the win, and best of luck in the future. We're going to throw it to the analyst desk to break down the rest of the day.
Thank you very much, Rivington. 45-minute game. Yeah, I think most of us look at that, we go, oh my goodness, this is so much slower than our average game. But this is not to forget the importance of this game, right? These are two teams, 3 and 6, and I have a feeling that some of the slowness of the game was because of the weight that should have been carried with two teams with identical records, with the head-to-head record on the line moving into the postseason.
Yeah, also keep in mind it was a very close game throughout, so unless someone makes a big mistake to fall far behind or makes a big play to pull far ahead, 45-minute games are going to happen. It's not like we're 65 minutes in here, 70 minutes, 80 minutes to dream. 45 minutes, that's really not that long.
Yeah, we also that used to be like our average game time.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we're also seeing pretty much, we've seen a lot of malfight today. We've seen a lot of things that start fights off and hard engaged. You're pretty much relying on TIP when they have a lead to land a Bard ulti, and it's on gate at that point to really get the perfect fight for them. So it does take a while for that to eventually come into TIP's hands and they find it, but it's definitely a big problem with these games is the lack of engage when you have a lead.
Absolutely. Speaking of Bard ults, the final fight, I want to take another look at it. Starts with the Bard ult, on to Shifter, gets caught out. We have a replay of that. We're going to pull it up for you. And exactly as you mentioned, part of the reason why I went so long was we were waiting for this initiate.
Yeah, Gate was heavily targeting Shifter with Bard ults the whole time, and they actually have a very good flank set up here with Mash and the Rek'Sai coming in from the backside. And Team Dignitas was actually already down in this game, which made it a little bit scary that they were in this position to fight in the first place. Apollo just doesn't have enough damage by himself since they could take out the Victor at the beginning of the fights. And it was a smart game plan, right? Because Poppy can only do so much damage with the tank build. Really, it's a two-threat team for Team Dignitas, and if they can consistently shut down Shifter, the fights are easy, no matter how big Apollo got.
Yep. So ultimately, a solid victory there for Team Impulse, and importantly, Fang's first victory with the team.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's very important that they did pick this up to showcase that with their full roster, without Seraph hard carrying the games, that this is still a very competitive roster and looking to make moves, and as he mentioned, contend for a playoff spot. On the side of Dignitas, still plagued with some trouble here, and is there anything that's easily identifiable as the major crux in the strategies for Team Dignitas?
It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. I think like we're seeing some good things out of Shifter. We're seeing Apollo still being consistent, but then we aren't really seeing. We're seeing inconsistencies. The big thing.
Yeah.
It's just every other game. It's kind of like this guy's doing well. Well, Fang's doing well this game. And
Apollo
it's
looks
hard to
like the
nail
best
down.
player on the team.
Yeah.
For one.
Yes.
And we knew coming into the season the Team Dignitas didn't bring in superstar imports. They brought in Smitty J and Kirei.
Yeah.
Then Smitty J also is off the team now, and Billy Boss is definitely not your superstar import. So it's not like they have. It's not like they just need to get around their mental block, or they just need to communicate better.
Right.
A lot of these players just aren't as good as the person that they're going up against in lane, which is a really hard thing to overcome. But if they play better as a team, they can pick up wins. They've proven to pick up wins in the past. It's just going to be very difficult.
So it's not the story of individuals who are all talented in their own right meshing or melding together like TSM. This is just a story of a team that needs to improve together, right? Across the board, they need to make improvements in order to stack up against the rest of these teams.
And Fang was talking about if everybody continues to put in hard work, that they can be a playoff squad. And I don't doubt them in that. I think that they can definitely push for that. We've seen some good things out of them, especially when like Seraph was on the squad.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Seraph making those plays, right? He made the plays that would initially start those fights, but a lot of these guys were following it up. We saw Purian have really good mid lane play. We see Proxen, diving his middly, but his early game control was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do actually want to go back now. I want to return to the game time point.
Right.
Only to look at it through the lens of Team Impulse, who played the game to their win conditions, right? So explaining why it went so long was that they were looking for the right initiation. It was a close game. They needed this victory. And so it's hard to fault them for not making a giant stab at anything. There were cautious Baron calls or starts with peels, right? We didn't see any massive throws, and that's really what it was. A lot of posturing in this game.
And let's remember the day we just had. We had Immortals playing Cloud9 in Game 3, and we're just like, oh yeah, these guys are real slow, right?
Right.
That was like a 50-kill game in 30 minutes. We're never going to get that in back-to-back games. So
I want it every game.
The excitement that happened in Game 3 made these games feel slower than they actually were. Like the Game 4 was what, like a 15-kill-2 Liquid victory, and it was 30 minutes. And we're like, man, it's really dragging along here. But like it wasn't. If we didn't have that third game, our experience wouldn't be so skewed.
Well, even like the Echo Fox Energy game, right, where there's like an explosive fight with the Malphite ultimate really early on in the game. You're just like, wow, that blew up really fast, and then it just kept snowballing from there, where this one's just like, all right, it's even. And you think that teams being even builds tension at that point, but people are just like, nobody's really doing a whole lot that would create that tension to give you a lead, or like taking a big risk. There was a lot of baiting around Barons, like you said, and the threat of a fifth dragon eventually could be a possibility.
6 dragons have fallen in the hands of these players.
It really was, right? Yeah, the
Dramatic
cast was
reading
going
by
in some
Kobe.
direction there. But ultimately, I actually really like the point about the champions that were played in here and contributing to that as well. We had seen so many explosive champions earlier in the day, not so many here, and that is a big contributing factor to everything slowing down. All that being said, a very nice win for Team Impulse to pick up, move their head-to-head to 2-0 against Dignitas, moving in towards the postseason. But let's check out how all of our teams are ranked after 5 weeks of play. Immortals is still undefeated and claims the top spot with their 10 wins. Then TSM is in sole possession of second place. Cloud9 and CLG are tied for third, while Energy and Liquid share 5th place. With their win, Team Impulse knocked Dig into a tie for 8th, with Echo Fox and Renegades rounding out the league in 10th. Now, there were a ton of great plays this weekend, but here are the OP5. Starting in the top lane, we've got Hanser.
Yeah, Hanser, he played 2 Fiora games back-to-back, and he showed consistency even in moments where TSM wasn't being very consistent. The Zillion composition comes to mind, and he was definitely a force to be reckoned with, and while everything was chaotic, he was still a very good rock for the team.
Absolutely. 2 sweet Fiora games this weekend for him. Moving into the jungle, we're going to find none other than Rainover once again.
Yeah, this is his 4th week out of 5 that he's been the OP jungler. He just keeps going up against the other best junglers, and we say, man, I'm really excited for this matchup. And then Rainover continues to annihilate that person. He killed Rush solo in Rush's jungle in this game. He was killed afterwards, but it still counts. He invaded Rush on Lee Sin and killed him.
Also super articulate in their thought process. In the interview, the way he explained the decision-making process that he and Huni had for their playstyle, it really resonated with me. Anyway, I want to move into the mid lane. We're going to find Froggen in his week back 2-0 for Echo Fox. I think that's really the big story there, is the leaders back into the slot, had some good games on, some solid performances on Corki, and it really just seems as though the entire team rallies behind him once he's in the game. Moving on to AD carry, Wild Turtle, Rainover's buddy.
Oh yeah, Wild Turtle though, he really did take over that game later on. He played 2 Kalista games back to back, and the one against C9, he actually had a very flexible build that I thought was incredible, where he was adapting his AD carry build, picking up a mob, picking up a Sterix, and just being tanky and adjusting the situation. So Wild Turtle showing that he has some adaptability to him on the fly, even if he is now that guy who's looking back at his 2015 late season and being like, you know what, that was a different Wild Turtle. I'm back to my old self.
Yeah, it was I'm the only one who's allowed to have fun Kalista build. Yeah, that's what it was. Finally, our support is going to go to high.
Yeah, and you can't really give enough props to this guy who switched to his 3rd position in under a year, and he's the only one who made this list who didn't win both games. It's because he had some very strong shot calls and played really strong Alistair in their game against Immortals, as well as in their game yesterday. So High continues to adapt to this support role, and Cloud9 looks like a very, very good team with him as a support.
Yeah, I think at first glance, a lot of people would say, well, why is he getting it when Adrian beat him this week? And I think it's exactly that. When you look at the value that he adds to the team individually as a player, plus the fact that that was one of the closer games Immortals has ever experienced, and a lot of it is due in part to High's play.
Yeah, it's the most deaths that Immortals have actually had in a single game.
Oh, absolutely. 16 in that game, only 51 in the previous 9 combined. So basically tripling their deaths per game average.
Which 67 deaths is a lot for a 10-0 team.
That is true. That's kind of true.
But that's just the way they play.
They just play fast and loose, I guess. Well, anyway, those are the players who stole our hearts. But of course, we can only have one MVP, and that is none other than Immortals Rainover. He ends this weekend with a 9.6 KDA, despite going up against CLG and Cloud9, 2 squads we thought might be able to take a win off of them. Now, he may have lost his perfect first blood stat, but he continues to make his team look good while putting forth strong performances of his own.
And now he's no longer the Leonardo DiCaprio. He's got an award. Finally, finally,
the last time he won a weekly MVP was Spring Split in Europe in week 2.
Seriously?
Seriously, it's been so long for this guy, even though he continues to perform week over week, and this time there was just no one who you could make an excuse of like, oh yeah, he was just a little bit better than Rainover, just a little bit better. No, Rainover was the best. Yeah. He was the best this week, and he deserves the MVP.
He absolutely does. It's good to see him collected. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. We're all wrapped up here this week, but in just 3 days, we'll have more league content coming your way, starting with a brand new primetime league at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. After that, the North American Challenger Series hits your screens with Team Dragon Knights versus Apex. And then on Thursday, the European LCS returns with Elements taking on Origin, right before Roccat goes up against Splice. Then later in the day, get ready for Fnatic versus G2 Esports in the match of the week across the pond. That all starts at 6 p.m. Central European Time and 9 a.m. Pacific Standard. And the action picks back up in North America next Saturday at noon with Energy Esports taking on Team Dignitas. Then TSM will face Cloud9, and rounding out the day is Liquid versus Echo Fox. And our match of the week is taking place on Sunday with Liquid going up against Immortals. And this is a rematch of those jungler matchup you were talking about, where we took Rainover, we put him up against one of the other perceived best junglers in NA, and he stepped up. The question is, can Dardoch and the rest of Liquid rebound and take a game off of Immortals?
Yeah, it was that game where Dardoch was just completely shut down, and it showed a stylistic difference where Dardoch, he's aggressive, but is he flexible? Because Rainover ran him all around the map, just cycling his jungle over and over again.
Yeah, and I think that's, again, we'll return to the idea also of the newbies, Matt, Dardoch, along with the veterans of Phoenix and Piglet. We had some talk about Phoenix today actually being a very strong potential carry for the team. Can they get it all locked together, tied in a neat little bow to beat Immortals?
You look at the numbers on Team Liquid, they're actually quite impressive. Piglet's having a good year. Dardoch looks like a great jungler. Phoenix is actually not as bad as you would think based off of some of his other plays. He's one of the top mid laners in the entire league. But they're 5-5.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on there? And of course, Immortals is 10-0. So that'll be an exciting game, especially if Team Liquid can pull something out.
All right. Well, that does it for us. Before we go, I do have to make an announcement. I was told that the entire production crew back in the control room would like to extend their invitation to you to be their Valentine. this day.
It's a lot of people.
After
Cut the single. Don't put him on air anymore. Don't give him any more airtime.
After what you and Kobe did to Zyrene this morning?
What? This
you
is
think, You think you can come crawling back?
not to me.
I need time to heal.
them.
That's too fast.
Messenger dash.
Anyway, that does it for myself and the entire live broadcast crew. Thank you for watching. Happy Valentine's Day, and we'll see you next week.
Your face is so Go Fox, there is that renewed vigor since they have their full roster.
Certainly can now challenge for a playoff spot.
He's trying to get this turret right back, but
But whoa! Four-man ulti from KFO, and look at the slaughter!
they see him. So they're four-man Malphite ultimate in full view of the team.
Yeah!
Nice, cool. I'm on Malphite.
Nice.
Nice.
That's the win for Echo Fox! Looking for Ash. Going. Go. Look, Ash. Morgana. Fine, he's gonna miss a big person as Stick say. He's gonna get hit with the Q. He's got a ride and it still gets him. That will be TSM slaughtering Counter Logic Gaming.
Nice. Go. Pull Valter. No flash. Careful. Kite back.
Cloud9 back inside their base. A stun on Pole Belter. Some damage dealt, but not even Jin can kill Immortals, who remains undefeated 10 games into the North American LCS.
Players going to make a play, though.
Pulls the trigger onto Phoenix, who's dropped low, but he's still alive. There's the Maw. It's a bounce house. Phoenix is still alive. He goes over the wall and back to get the kill. And they take the win 32 minutes in.
Billy Boss got the front line.
5v3 knockup is going to find Gate. He's locked down. He goes down. Keurig chases over the wall. He didn't want to be there. He dies.
Nice. GG, right? Go. GG.
Impulse 4 and 6 in the standings, defeating Dignitas.